2024 has to just be a wild year. Like, am I the only person that thinks that? It's barely over. We're in October. We still got a couple months left, and we still are getting insane thing after insane thing after insane thing happening. I'm just frankly staggered by the amount of stuff that's been coming out, and, you know, it's just, like, I can't even put into words, man. It's so stupid. Like, we've had some good stuff, you know? Deadpool Wolverine came out, that was fun, you know? NSYNC is becoming popular again, and then Justin Timberlake decided to go on a car ride with his best friend Molly. But the big thing about this year, the very big thing has been going on about this year, is that 2024 has been claimed to be the year of the Predators. And, I mean, it's hard to not argue with that because, boy, do we have a list to choose from. And the amount of crazy shit that's been happening on YouTube around the time, like, how the fuck is Mr. Beast just failing out of all this shit? Like, ever since Ava Chris Tyson decided to not be interested in adults, everything's just been going downhill for Beast. But one thing I would never expect in the same year that Diddy and Drake get called out is that a fucking Pokemon gets called out. Yeah, that's not a joke. Recently, Gamefreak had a huge massive leak, similar to how Insomniac had it earlier in the year, and similar to it has leaked a lot of information, some weird, some good, and some very bad that I will be going into the video later because holy shit, that's not good to do. But one of the biggest things that people are talking about right now are these little, you would think that they were some shit on Notepad, but they're lore, apparently, written by someone in Gamefreak, that details information about Pokemon. Apparently we have 3 stories so far, and 3 of them are just, like, all of them are just insane. These 3 stories that we have about this stuff just is always about humans having relations with Pokemon, whether it's consensual or not consensual, and some of them include the characters being underage, which is just a huge yikes. And I don't know who the fuck decided to do this. I don't know who the fuck decided to write this, but this was written by an employee of Game Freak, so holy shit, they were a massive freak. I know people have been making a joke on the internet about this already, but it just needs emphasizing, because who the fuck would write this shit? Now look, while I do like Nintendo, I've never really been a huge fan of Pokemon. Like, I've seen it, I was part of the Pokemon Go craze when that was a thing, and I played 5 minutes of the Game Boy Advance game. I think it was like Green Leaf or whatever, I don't care. But a lot of people love Pokemon. It's a huge franchise. It's definitely one of the top 3 that Nintendo has ever had. So to have this come out is just so funny. Like, imagine you grew up on the anime, or just played any of the games during the huge Pokemania thing that happened in the 90s, and then you just see this shit. This shit that's just on Twitter that an employee decided to write in their free time while making not great games. Now, while I think Game Freak made an apology to this and said that that material was not in canon, I still think that what's done has been done. And many people are looking at these Pokemon and just are starting to be bugged out a bit. Because yeah, I don't think I would look at the big sloth guy again after reading that story about what he did to that young girl. And I'm only laughing at this because it is just absurd. Like, how in the actual hell could you conceive this? Like, again, in those 3 stories, we have human relations with Pokemon, and in those stories, it also results in human Pokemon hybrids. Who was cooking? Nobody should have thought about that. That is Wattpad shit. I don't even think that should even be Wattpad shit. That is like, oh my god, it's just autism in a can. Like, that's the best way I can describe this. It is just flat out ridiculous. But while many people are memeing and joking about all that stuff, and like for good reason, it is stupid, it is flat out ridiculous, I think we should also like, talk about the elephant in the room, which is the fact that many Gamefreak employees have had their private information leaked due to this whole thing. And similar to the Insomniac thing, I don't think enough people are talking about it enough, and it is incredibly sad and disrespectful and just a whole bunch of fucked up shit on top of that. Like, what the fuck? No, I don't care if these stories are coming out, or if we have new Pokemon designs, or if source codes for new games are being leaked, whatever. I don't think it's okay to leak anybody's private information because you want to leak some shit. Even if this is Nintendo, and we all know that Nintendo is a bad company. They are. I might fucking make a rant about it someday, alongside the other two companies that have been producing shitty products lately. But I feel like, especially considering that this isn't Nintendo itself, it's just Game Freak. It's not okay at all. Even if it was Nintendo, it's just not okay. It is stupid, it is fucking dumb, and whoever decided to do that, you're an asshole. And as for the employees of Game Freak, I hope that you guys are safe. My condolences for everything that's happened lately, and I hope that you guys rebound from this. Also, like, maybe you should never have that one guy pick up a pen or pencil ever again. Just saying.